One night, in the vibrant city of Abuja, I witnessed a scene that shattered my faith in humanity. A wealthy man, blinded by infatuation, transformed his devoted wife into a mere servant, all for the sake of a mistress. This is the story of Peter, Esther, and Samota, a tale of love, betrayal, and heartache that will leave you questioning the very nature of loyalty and power. Peter was a man of immense wealth and influence in Abuja. Known for his generosity and charm, he had built a successful business empire and lived in a grand mansion. His wife, Esther, was the pillar of their home. A graceful and kind-hearted woman, she managed their household with love and care, ensuring that everyone around her felt cherished. Their marriage, which began with so much promise, seemed perfect on the surface. They were the epitome of a power couple, admired and envied by many. But beneath the veneer of happiness, cracks were beginning to show. Peter had grown restless, and his eyes wandered to places they shouldn't. Enter Samota, a young and beautiful woman who worked at one of Peter's companies. Her striking looks and seductive charm captivated Peter, and before long, he found himself ensnared in her web. Samota was ambitious and cunning, and she saw an opportunity in Peter's interest. She played her cards well, always presenting herself as the perfect contrast to Esther's calm and nurturing demeanor. Peter's infatuation with Samota grew stronger by the day. He began to distance himself from Esther, spending more time with his mistress and less time at home. Esther noticed the change, but her love for Peter made her blind to the obvious. She believed that if she remained patient and supportive, Peter would return to her. But Peter's heart had hardened. One evening, he returned home and announced to Esther that she was no longer the mistress of their mansion. With a cold, unfeeling tone, he informed her that from that day forward, she would be relegated to the role of a housemaid. Esther's world crumbled around her as she struggled to comprehend Peter's betrayal. She had always been a devoted Christian, and in her moment of despair, she turned to God, praying for strength and guidance. Her faith was her anchor, and she clung to it desperately. Esther moved into the small servant quarters at the back of the mansion. The luxurious life she once knew was now a distant memory. She worked tirelessly, performing the menial tasks she once oversaw. Her spirit was broken, but she carried out her duties with dignity, never allowing herself to be seen as a victim. She found solace in her nightly prayers, seeking comfort and strength from God. Her faith was unshakable, and she believed that God had a plan for her, even in this darkest hour. Esther's faith in God was her anchor. Every night, she knelt beside her bed, praying for strength and guidance. She believed that God had a plan for her, even in her darkest moments. Her prayers gave her solace and the courage to face each new day. Meanwhile, Samota moved into the main house, taking over Esther's place in Peter's life. She reveled in her newfound status, enjoying the luxuries and privileges that came with being Peter's mistress. She made sure Esther's presence was felt, often ordering her around and belittling her in front of the other servants. The cruelty she displayed was shocking, but Esther bore it with grace, her faith providing her with the strength to endure. The staff, who had always respected Esther, were shocked by the turn of events. They could not understand how Peter could treat his wife with such cruelty. But Esther bore her suffering in silence, her love for Peter and her faith in a higher power giving her the strength to endure. She prayed not only for herself but for Peter, hoping that he would see the error of his ways. As the weeks turned into months, Peter's business began to falter. His once flourishing empire started crumbling, and he faced financial difficulties he had never experienced before. The stress of his failing business and the constant demands of Samota began to take a toll on him. He grew irritable and short-tempered, lashing out at everyone around him, including Samota. Samota, seeing that Peter's wealth was diminishing, began to lose interest. She had no loyalty to Peter beyond his money and status. When she realized that the lavish lifestyle she had grown accustomed to was slipping away, she left without a word, abandoning Peter when he needed support the most. Her departure was a harsh blow to Peter, who found himself alone and overwhelmed. Peter was left alone, his heart filled with regret and sorrow. He realized too late the depth of his mistakes. He had traded the love and loyalty of his devoted wife for the fleeting allure of a mistress who cared nothing for him. In his desperation, he turned to Esther, seeking forgiveness and a chance to make amends. But the damage was done. Esther had endured too much pain and humiliation. She looked at Peter with a mixture of pity and sadness, knowing that the man she had once loved was no more. She forgave him, not out of love, but because she refused to carry the burden of hatred in her heart. However, she made it clear that she could no longer be his wife. Her forgiveness was a testament to her faith and strength, but it did not mean she could forget the betrayal. Esther left the mansion, starting a new life away from the shadows of her past. She found solace in helping others, using her experience to support women who had faced similar betrayals. Her strength and resilience became an inspiration to many, and she rebuilt her life with grace and dignity. She continued to pray, thanking God for giving her the strength to move forward. Peter, on the other hand, was left to face the consequences of his actions. He lost his business, his wealth, and the respect of those around him. His mansion, once a symbol of his success, became a hollow shell, a reminder of the price he paid for his foolishness. He was haunted by his choices, realizing that he had destroyed the one person who truly cared for him. Peter's attempts to reconcile with Esther were futile. She had moved on, finding peace and purpose in her new life. She became a symbol of strength in the community, while Peter was a cautionary tale. His regret was profound, but it came too late to undo the damage he had caused. Esther's new life was challenging, but her faith in God remained unshaken. She prayed daily, finding strength and peace in her relationship with God. Her prayers were not just for herself but for Peter as well. She prayed that he would find the wisdom to learn from his mistakes and the humility to seek forgiveness. Her faith guided her, providing comfort and direction as she rebuilt her life. Esther joined a local church and became an active member of the community. She volunteered her time to help those in need, sharing her story with other women who had suffered similar fates. Her experiences gave her a unique perspective, and her words carried a weight that resonated deeply with those who heard them. She found fulfillment in her work, knowing that she was making a difference in the lives of others. In her darkest moments, Esther had found a light within herself, a light that she now shared with others. She had transformed her pain into a source of strength and inspiration, proving that even the most profound suffering could lead to growth and healing. Her faith was the cornerstone of her new life, guiding her every step of the way. Peter, meanwhile, struggled to rebuild his life. His attempts to revive his business were futile, and he found himself increasingly isolated. The friends and associates who once flocked to his side disappeared when his wealth evaporated. He was left alone to ponder the choices he had made and the life he had destroyed. His loneliness was a stark contrast to the vibrant life he once led. Despite his regret, Peter found it difficult to move on. He often thought of Esther and the life they had once shared. He realized too late that true wealth was not measured in material possessions but in the love and loyalty of those who care for you. He had squandered that wealth, and now he was paying the price. His heart ached with the weight of his mistakes, and he longed for the days when he had Esther by his side. The community in Abuja rallied around Esther. Her story of resilience and faith inspired many. She was invited to speak at various events and gatherings, where she shared her journey and the lessons she had learned. Her message was one of forgiveness, strength, and the power of faith in overcoming adversity. She became a beacon of hope for many, her faith and courage shining brightly. Esther's reputation grew, and she became a beacon of hope for many women who had faced betrayal and hardship. Her story was a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of faith. She had turned her suffering into a source of inspiration, showing that even in the darkest times, there is always a path to light. Her unwavering faith and determination touched the hearts of many. Peter, on the other hand, became a cautionary tale. His story served as a warning to those who might be tempted by the allure of fleeting pleasures at the expense of lasting love and loyalty. His downfall was a stark reminder of the consequences of betrayal and the importance of cherishing those who stand by you. His life was a testament to the dangers of letting greed and lust override one's better judgment. Despite his regret, Peter found it difficult to move on. He often thought of Esther and the life they had once shared. He realized too late that true wealth was not measured in material possessions but in the love and loyalty of those who care for you. He had squandered that wealth, and now he was paying the price. His nights were filled with restless sleep, haunted by the memories of his betrayal and the loss of Esther. One day, while wandering the streets of Abuja, Peter encountered a group of women listening intently to a speaker. Curious, he approached and was stunned to see Esther standing before the crowd, sharing her story with grace and poise. She spoke of forgiveness, faith, and the strength to overcome adversity. Her words were powerful, resonating deeply with those who listened. Peter listened, his heart heavy with regret. He saw the impact Esther had on the people around her, and he realized the magnitude of what he had lost. Her strength and resilience were a stark contrast to his own weakness and selfishness. He was filled with a deep sense of shame and a longing for redemption. Seeing Esther in this new light, he understood just how deeply he had wronged her. After the event, Peter approached Esther. He apologized once more, his voice choked with emotion. Esther listened patiently, her expression kind but firm. She told him that forgiveness was a journey, and while she had forgiven him in her heart, he needed to find a way to forgive himself and learn from his mistakes. Her words were both a comfort and a challenge to Peter. Esther's words struck a chord with Peter. He realized that his path to redemption lay in helping others and making amends for his past actions. He decided to use what resources he had left to support the community, particularly women who had faced similar struggles. He saw this as a way to honor Esther and the lessons she had taught him. Peter began to volunteer his time and efforts to local charities and support groups. He shared his own story of downfall and regret, hoping to deter others from making the same mistakes. His sincerity and dedication slowly began to win back the respect of those around him. His journey to redemption was a long one, but he was committed to making a difference. Peter's transformation was slow but genuine. He began volunteering at local shelters and organizations that supported women in need. He used his business acumen to help these organizations grow and reach more people. His efforts did not go unnoticed, and gradually, he began to earn back the respect of those around him. He was finally finding a sense of purpose and fulfillment in his life. Esther, too, continued her work with unwavering dedication. Her bond with the community grew stronger, and she found fulfillment in her new life. She and Peter occasionally crossed paths, and while their relationship would never be the same, there was a mutual understanding and respect between them. They had both changed, and there was a quiet acknowledgement of the journey they had each taken. Peter's journey to redemption was a testament to the power of humility and the capacity for change. He had lost everything, but in doing so, he had found a deeper sense of purpose and a way to atone for his past mistakes. His story, like Esther's, became a source of inspiration, showing that it is never too late to seek forgiveness and make amends. He continued to work tirelessly, knowing that his efforts were making a positive impact. Esther's life was filled with purpose and joy. She continued to inspire those around her, her faith unwavering. She knew that her journey was far from over, but she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead with grace and strength. Her experiences had shaped her into a woman of incredible resilience and compassion. This story serves as a crucial lesson on the importance of loyalty, respect, and the value of true love. It teaches us that wealth and power are fleeting, and that the decisions we make in moments of weakness can have far-reaching consequences. In the end, it is the strength of our character and the purity of our hearts that define our true worth. True love and loyalty are priceless treasures that must be cherished and protected. Esther's unwavering faith and resilience are reminders of the power of forgiveness and the strength that comes from within. Her journey from betrayal to empowerment shows that even in the face of immense pain, there is always a path to healing and growth. Her faith in God guided her through her darkest times and helped her find a new purpose in life. Peter's story serves as a poignant reminder of the dangers of succumbing to temptation and losing sight of what truly matters. His journey to redemption illustrates that it is never too late to change, but the road to forgiveness is long and fraught with challenges. His experiences taught him the value of humility and the importance of making amends for past wrongs. In conclusion, cherish and respect those who stand by you in times of need, for their love is priceless and irreplaceable. Remember that true wealth lies in the relationships we build and the love we share. Always strive to live a life of integrity, faith, and compassion, knowing that even the deepest wounds can heal with time, effort, and a sincere heart. Peter's path to redemption was arduous, but he persevered with determination and sincerity. As he continued to support local shelters and charities, he found himself drawn to helping young people who had lost their way. He started mentoring troubled youths, using his own life story as a cautionary tale. His honesty and openness about his mistakes resonated with them, and he began to see real change in their lives. The community began to notice Peter's transformation. He was no longer the arrogant, wealthy man who had betrayed his wife. He had become a humble servant, dedicated to making amends for his past. People started to respect him again, not for his money, but for his character and the positive impact he was making. Peter's efforts extended beyond the local community. He collaborated with larger organizations and even started his own foundation aimed at providing support and resources to those in need. His work took him to different parts of Nigeria, where he shared his story and advocated for change. Through this, he began to heal and find peace within himself. Despite all his efforts, Peter still felt a void in his heart. He missed Esther deeply and longed for her forgiveness, not just in words, but in her heart. One day, he visited her church, where she was speaking to a group of women. After her talk, he approached her once again, this time with a humble request. He asked if he could join her in her work and help in any way he could. Esther was initially hesitant. She had moved on and built a new life, but she saw the sincerity in Peter's eyes and the genuine change in his demeanor. She agreed to let him assist in her community projects, but with the clear understanding that they would remain just partners in their mission to help others. Working together brought a sense of closure for both Peter and Esther. They found a new rhythm, one based on mutual respect and a shared goal of helping others. Their relationship evolved from one of betrayal and pain to one of cooperation and understanding. Though the wounds of the past could never be fully erased, they managed to find a way to move forward. Their combined efforts led to significant positive changes in their community. They established a center for women and children, providing education, shelter, and vocational training. Esther's experience and empathy, combined with Peter's business acumen and resources, created a powerful force for good. They watched as lives were transformed, knowing that their own painful journey had led to something beautiful and meaningful. In time, Esther and Peter developed a deep friendship. They found comfort in each other's company and a shared sense of purpose. While the romance of their past never rekindled, their bond grew stronger in a different, yet equally meaningful way. They had come full circle, finding peace and fulfillment in their work and in their new relationship. As the years passed, Peter and Esther became a symbol of hope and redemption in Abuja. Their story was told and retold, inspiring countless others to seek forgiveness, embrace change, and strive for a better future. They proved that even the deepest wounds could heal, and that true redemption was possible through faith, humility, and unwavering commitment to doing good. This extended story underscores the importance of loyalty, respect, and the enduring value of true love and faith. It teaches us that while wealth and power are fleeting, the decisions we make in moments of weakness can have lasting consequences. In the end, the strength of our character and the purity of our hearts define our true worth. Esther's unwavering faith and resilience highlight the power of forgiveness and the strength that comes from within. Her journey from betrayal to empowerment demonstrates that even in the face of immense pain, there is always a path to healing and growth. Her faith in God was the cornerstone of her strength and the guide for her new purpose. Peter's story serves as a poignant reminder of the dangers of succumbing to temptation and losing sight of what truly matters. His journey to redemption illustrates that it is never too late to change, but the road to forgiveness is long and fraught with challenges. His transformation shows the importance of humility, atonement, and the pursuit of a meaningful life dedicated to helping others. Cherish and respect those who stand by you in times of need, for their love is priceless and irreplaceable. True wealth lies in the relationships we build and the love we share. Always strive to live a life of integrity, faith, and compassion, knowing that even the deepest wounds can heal with time, effort, and a sincere heart.